Today we are going to be talking about ribs. And ribs are really important in the barbecue community. They are a staple in the barbecue world when it comes to competitions, feeding your family, having the backyard barbecue by your own swamp over here. We're going to be doing a 101 on ribs. And I'm going to tell you one thing right off. I used to be the kind of guy that would take his ribs and I'd show it to my friends and family and I'd pull that bone right out and it would be clean and I'd say, look, this is how tender my ribs are. And I'd be doing it by the 3-2-1 method. I don't find that way to be conducive anymore. In fact, I would say that those ribs were overdone. We're going to be doing ribs that are going to be so good you can even present them in a competition. And step on over here, we're going to be firing up our pit barrel cooker to get these ribs done. We're going to be hanging the ribs. This is going to be a really exciting cook. Let's get started. That was better. Before we start with our ribs inside, we have to get our smoker up and running. So we have a chimney here with about 20 briquettes in it, and we're gonna get that going with my Grill Blazer grill gun. And down below, we have the charcoal basket. Kind of being hard to see down there, but we're gonna get these charcoal briquettes going, and then we're gonna lay them on top, remove that grate, put the rebar in, and put the lid on and bring it up to temperature slowly. That gives us just enough time to go in there and prepare our ribs. So we got our chimney up and ready. You can see on the inside here, we got the briquettes going. They're lit. So we're gonna remove the grate, which we're not gonna need for this cook. And then follow me down here. This is the easy part. This is how you get this grill going. All you do is dump it on top and kind of spread it around like that. So for this cook and for most of my charcoal in the pit barrel, I like to use the Kingsford, and I'm trying this sweet and fruity blend. It's apple. So this should be really nice with it. I'm gonna put in the rebar here because this is what helps control the temperature of the smoker. Then we put the lid on and let it come up to temp. Let's go inside and get these ribs going. So today's rib has been presented to us by Heritage Farm Chester Pork over in North Carolina. I picked this up from a local guy, and I'm telling you, this stuff is the Ferrari of pork. When we're doing ribs, these are baby back ribs, okay? Not St. Louis ribs, but these are baby back ribs. You gotta remove the membrane on the back. So, we're gonna flip it over, and if you see this skin right here, okay? Some people like to take a paper towel because it gets kind of messy, and just kind of go across till you get it all. Try to get all this skin off here, this membrane, because we're going to put some rub on the bottom side of these ribs. So this was all of the membrane right there. We got it all off. You can do anything at this point. What I like to do is kind of keep it simple. We're going to do one of the Cosmo Q rubs on the bottom and the top, and then we're going to put a second layer of flavor on the top as well. Because the bottom, it's mostly bone here. You'll get a little bit of permeation of flavor right through here and in between the ribs. But for the bottom, all we're using is the Cosmo Q Dirty Bird. Let's go and get it. Don't forget to hit the top. For the second layer of flavor on top, we're going to be using the Honey Chipotle Killer Bee. This has some of that sugar in it. This is gonna give it some of that char. The bottom part's gonna be hanging down by the fire a little bit by the charcoal basket. So we wanna cover this one on pretty thick. And you can see all that sugar in there. We just want all of that on it. Look at that thing. It is a thing of beauty. Now we're gonna take our hook from the pit barrel cooker, and you wanna hook it pretty low. I like to try to get it under that second bone there, just like that. Pat some of that down, make sure it stays on. And then we're gonna take this, push that through all the way. We're gonna hang this on the rebar. You see we have just enough clearance for that rebar in there, right through here. Let's go hang this outside. So we have this beautiful rack of ribs here, and all we're gonna do, this is the hard part, hang it on the rebar, just like that. Now, we take our lid, and we let this pit barrel do its thing. We don't have a temperature gauge on this. We're not checking the temps of the ribs. You'll know when they're ready when they pull back off the bone about half an inch, a quarter inch or so. And we're gonna check them in about an hour and see how they're cooking. All we had to do when we got this pit barrel was set it to our altitude down here at the lower damper. And once we did that, this thing just runs consistently at about 275. And the charcoal is running hot, so we'll see you guys back in an hour. There's a phrase in barbecue, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. This is a video, we have to look to cook. Let's take a look at these bad boys. Now, what's really cool about the pit barrel is as it cooks, you can see that the grease kind of drips off of it. Oh yeah. That's some beautiful color on there already. You can see we're getting a little char at the bottom. These still need a little bit more time though, but these are looking really good. I probably got the runt of the litter. I think I just went in to try to find the cheapest kind. Cheshire pork is the best. So we're gonna check back in a little bit longer, maybe another hour or so, and see where we are. Once we're done, we're gonna top this with some Cosmo Q rib glaze. It's gonna blow your mind, at least visually anyway. We'll see you back here in just a little bit. It's been about another 40-ish minutes or so. We're gonna take a look at these things and see. That's a beautiful sight. And this is even more beautiful. Check this out. Let me get the hook off the rack here. Look at that. Some amazing color. And if we turn it around, you see right here and kind of go down a little bit, we're starting to see it pull back. So these are almost done, but you can see they are dripping. They are, ooh, these are gonna be good. So I'm gonna give these about 15 more minutes or so, and then we're gonna pull them off and we're gonna glaze them up with some of that cherry apple habanero glaze that we got from Cosmo Q. Check back in a few minutes. It's time for the final reveal of these beautiful ribs. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Those look so damn good. We have the bone pulled away about a quarter inch, kind of goes all the way down right here. You see it through. We got a little char on the bottom here, which is perfect. So we're gonna lay this on our cutting board. We're gonna take this back inside and throw some of that cherry apple habanero rib glaze on it. See you in there in just a second. So if you look at these ribs here, come in a little close, you can just see all the moisture it retained. This is gonna be perfect. So now we're gonna throw on some of this cherry apple habanero rib glaze. Here we go. This is just gonna make it look like candy. And I might be going heavy on this, I don't know. But I'm gonna take my brush and just brush it over like that. Look at that glisten in the light. This looks like something that would win a world championship competition. Since I am the king of the cul-de-sac, the self-proclaimed grillionaire. So I'm gonna let that sit on for just a minute, and then I'm gonna throw on one more sauce, and then we're gonna dive in. This rib glaze just gave it such a beautiful shine and sheen to it. We're gonna add the last thing, some apple chipotle barbecue sauce. I'm all about layers. You don't have to do this. This is just something I'm doing, but that's gonna give it a nice finishing touch. I'm telling you, this Cosmo Q stuff is some of the best I've ever had. Covered in it, beautiful ribs. I like them wet. Some people like them dry. We're gonna slice into these in just a few minutes, and then we'll take a bite. Me being a big dude, my favorite part, we're gonna cut in, and we're going to see how good these are. We got some beautiful flavor and moisture in there. Let's dive in, take a bite. Still a little hot. Check out that bite mark. And we see it, we still have all that flavor that gave us a nice crust on the bottom. Ribs are a messy food, but this is delicious. We do this once in a while. Sometimes she likes to be on video. I'm filming with my left hand here, but tell me, what do you think?
They're very good.
She
almost cleaned it.
Almost cleaned the bone. Wish I could say that about other things. Grill Mark Co., we're grilling so rare, it's well done. See you next time.